Hidden camera captures horrific murder. Have you ever pondered what happens when the appearance of normalcy is pulled aside to reveal the terrifying truth that lies beneath? Imagine discovering a scenario that breaks the sense of security, where the distinction between the macabre and the commonplace becomes hazy and becomes unsettling. What if I told you that there is footage out there shot through an unwary lens that shows a horrific crime and reveals a terrifying truth that is hidden just beneath the surface? Prepare yourself as we explore the concealed camera's lens, which witnessed an absolutely horrifying murder as we venture into the depths of darkness. However, take note. What you're going to see might stay with you long after the screen goes black. In today's criminal investigations, surveillance film has become an essential component, and video evidence frequently makes the difference in cases. That being said, a number of high-profile murder cases are still unsolved, even after investigators discovered and made public video of a prime suspect. For example, when investigators connected the DNA of a Maryland woman's accused killer to a suspect in a Los Angeles home invasion, they had doorbell footage showing the guy leaving the scene, so it seemed like a slam dunk. 6 months have gone by with no witness to identify the guy suspected of killing Rachel Morin, a 37-year-old mother of 5 whose body was discovered on a hiking route last summer, despite that video and extensively circulated posters about the crimes. Authorities last week unveiled more sketches of the culprit 6 months after Moran was killed, in the hopes that this would finally spark movement in the case. However, as things stand, Moran's murder joins a number of perplexing murder cases that are still unresolved, even if there is video evidence of a suspect in the vicinity of the crime site or perhaps of the murder itself. Video and still images of the suspect in Terry Missy Bevers' death on April 18, 2016, were made available to the public by Midlothian Police Department of Midlothian Police. Missy Bevers. Terry Missy Bevers, a 45-year-old married mother of 3 girls, was assassinated on April 18, 2016, inside the North Texas church where she was supposed to conduct a fitness class at 5 in the morning. According to a police timeline, surveillance footage showed her pulling into the Midlothian Creekside Church parking lot at 4:16 and entering the building at 4:20 a.m. Just before 5, one of her boot camp classmates discovered her body. Investigators indicated that the person suspected of killing her was there for at least 30 minutes before Bevers arrived, having been seen on camera for the first time at 3:50 a.m. A terrifying 2.5-minute video that included clips from motion-activated camera footage taken inside the church that morning was made public by Midlothian Police. A person spotted pacing the church's hallways wearing what seems to be riot gear, including a helmet, can be heard in the almost silent video. Their tactical vest has the word police printed in white block letters on both the front and the back. They open and close several doors, take a quick look inside, then go on in a leisurely, almost informal manner. They attempt to break into some locked rooms on occasion, swinging a big hammer around their side as they go down the hallways. The guy in the video is roughly 5 feet, 8 inches tall, according to police estimates. They highlighted their unique walk or gait, pointing out that, presumably as a result of an injury, their feet point outward more predominantly on the right. The person's gender remained a mystery to investigators. However, a search warrant characterized the suspect as possessing a feminine sway. Since authorities haven't released many specifics regarding Bevers' death, it's unknown if the hammer was used in the attack. Bevers had multiple puncture wounds on her head and chest, which they claimed were consistent with tools the suspect was carrying throughout the building, but that was all they disclosed. The night before she was killed, Bevers, who was employed by the fitness company Camp Gladiator, wrote a note to her students on Facebook. Because of the bad weather, the class, which would typically be held in the parking lot, would be held indoors, she wrote. No excuses. You are warriors indeed. If her murder was intended, it would have shown her killer exactly where and when she should have been that morning. Additionally, video security footage of a sedan, possibly a Nissan Altima, slowly circling a nearby business parking lot in the early morning hours prior to Bever's murder was made public by investigators. The suspect briefly parks, turns on and off the car's lights multiple times, and then takes off. In her pickup truck, authorities discovered Bevers's handbag, iPad, and revolver. Nothing from the church had been taken. Investigators claim to have discovered evidence in one search warrant that indicated Bevers and her husband, Brandon, were experiencing financial and marital difficulties. However, they also verified that Brandon was in Mississippi at the time of Bevers's death on an annual fishing trip. He recently stated in an interview that he thought his wife's murder was untargeted, defying the investigators' hypothesis. Investigators have been searching for a person of interest and have not made an arrest in the nearly 8 years since Bevers was killed. Elizabeth Barraza. On January 19, 2019, Elizabeth Liz Barraza was shot and killed in her driveway shortly before dawn. The 29-year-old Houstonian lady was preparing for a garage sale outside her house when someone approached and fired 4 revolver shots at her. The assassin has not been found, despite footage of the gunshot from a neighbor's home security system. Barraza's killer's gender is unknown, similar to the Bevers case. The cameras were not close enough to capture anything more than a shadowy figure, and it was still dark. Authorities have speculated that the murderer may have been disguised with a long jacket, tall boots, and a wig. Security cameras, including the Barraza's personal doorbell camera, recorded the alleged gunman traveling around the area in a dark-colored 4-door Nissan Frontier pickup truck both before and after the shooting. The driver, according to investigators, was probably waiting for Sergio Barraza to go for work. Following his departure, the driver kept their headlights on and parked on the street next to the Barraza's residence. The gunman fled after firing the final shot, running back to the truck. But according to the authorities, the truck came back, probably confirming Barraza's death. She passed away in the hospital the next day. Investigators claim that before Barraza was shot 3 times at point-blank range, she said good morning to her assassin. In the video, she can be heard yelling as she hits the floor. Barraza was lying on her back when the gunman fired a 4th round. There is still no known reason behind the killing, although he is aware that he is the prime suspect in people's eyes. Sergio Barraza, who met his second wife, Amber, approximately a year and a half after Liz passed away, told Caillou 11 last year that he is not a person of interest according to the investigation. He revealed to the news outlet that Amber and he had both cleared lie detector exams. Barraza's spouse stated that the couple intended to utilize the money raised from the garage sale to fund a forthcoming Florida vacation in honor of their 5th wedding anniversary. Barraza frequently wore a stormtrooper costume when she volunteered at local hospitals, including the one where she passed away the day after the shooting. The two were avid fans of Star Wars and Harry Potter. Chris Jake Moon. On February 13, 1998, security cameras in Mesquite, Arizona, saw Chris Jake Moon, a 31-year-old mother of 2 Native American children, exiting the Oasis Casino. Authorities claimed she was killed by beatings a few hours later. She can be seen departing in the video with a number of people, one of whom is a man wearing a cowboy hat. He has never been found, but he is still a person of interest in her murder. Following Jake Moon's disappearance, a co-worker claimed to detectives that he only knew the man by his first name and that he never showed up for work or picked up his paycheck, ABC 15 reported. Jake Moon's body was discovered on February 16th in a rocky desert region close to the border between Arizona and Nevada, draped in a blue blanket. She had been hit in the head several times, according to Mojave County Sheriff's officials, and an autopsy determined that blunt force trauma was the cause of her death. There was no proof discovered by the investigators that she had been sexually abused. According to Jake Moon's family, part of the reason his case is still unsolved, according to USA Today, is that the investigation was done poorly. which is a symbol of the pervasive violence against indigenous people that goes unreported and is not properly investigated, something that the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women movement aims to stop. Subscribe now to unlock exclusive access to this bone-chilling footage and join us as we unravel the secrets hidden within the lens. Don't miss out on the opportunity to delve deeper into the darkest corners of human nature with us.